It seems that solving math word problems is a universal problem. I don't know about you, but my students often get stuck on the extra. But I think I found an interesting way to help solve that problem. When my students look at a word problem, I ask them to find the operation and the numbers first. So what are you doing in the problem? Are you adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing? And then what numbers do you need to do that with? So what are the numbers in the problem that you need to focus on, and what do you need to do with them? Unfortunately, my kids sometimes get stuck on the story side. Why does Tommy have 63 Snickers bars, and why won't he share them? As much as I love a Snickers bar, that's not the important part. So I thought, what if I got my students to write their own word problems? Then maybe they could pull out the important stuff if they know what the test maker's thinking when they're writing the word problem. So the first thing I do in our small group is I explain the game. You are going to be writing a word problem today, but there are some rules. I will give you the operation, so I will tell my students you're going to multiply, divide, add, subtract. You have to do one of the operations I give you in the word problem. Sometimes I will have them do multi-step, depending on where we're at in the curriculum. The next rule is that you're going to pull a story coin, and that is going to be the basis of your word problem story. So for example, they might pull a popsicle. That means that their word problem will have to have the operation I gave them, let's say multiplication, and it's gonna have to be about popsicles. This makes it easier for kids to come up with a word problem on the spot because they're not having to think about, oh, what am I gonna write this word problem about? They already know. And a popsicle would be a fairly easy thing to add or multiply, divide, based on the operation. The third rule is that once they write their word problem, they then have to solve it, and they have to show their work. This is important because sometimes they start working through the word problem to realize this doesn't work. Writing a word problem is a lot harder than it sounds. So if they can work it out and then see, well, that multiplication step doesn't make sense, this isn't going to work there, they get to go back and fix their word problem. Finally, the peers at our table will solve the word problem. This gives other students the opportunity to read someone else's work, to process what they've done, and then to work the word problem like they would on an assessment. So they get to practice pulling out the important information and not worrying about the story. Then we can do error analysis. If the students don't get the same answer as the creator, they can go through and figure out, well, where did you mess up? What should I have done to hopefully not make that mistake again? So if you have your kids write word problems, please let me know. I would love to hear some of theirs because I know my kids come up with some really funny word problems. There's a link down below for story coins if you're interested. They're on my website and also on Etsy if you're more comfortable with Etsy. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you later.